Hey, Star Wars fans. My name's David Collins, and you're at StarWars.com. I'm with Supervising Director of The Clone Wars, Dave Filoni. We just took a look at the third episode of Season 5, The Frontrunners. Dave, how are you doing?
I'm really good, really good.
Good. Well, let's talk about Onderon. Let's talk about that planet and what the people are going through and sort of what seems to be the beginning of a rebellion.
Yeah, basically, when we were doing Onderon and George brought in the ideas of these rebels, the whole thing started with wanting to say that the clone army, the army of the Republic, these, troopers coming in everywhere, all looking the same, very menacing, even when they're trying to do good, as the Jedi and the clones, that some of the planets felt it was too aggressive, that it was too dangerous, that it was imperialism. Some planets felt that way. So Lux Bonteri, who's a friend of Ahsoka Tano, obviously, it was his idea to say to the rebels, well, I know a Jedi, I think we need their help. This begins an idea where Anakin says we can train these insurgent groups, we can train up the local freedom fighters to fight for the Republic, to get what we want out of this, and we'll back them. Ultimately, this is now a group of rebels. If it's successful, they will do this on Onderon. They'll do this on a bunch of planets throughout the galaxy. And when everything falls apart and the Empire takes over, you still have these little structures out there of these militias that were created by the Jedi. And they say, whoa, 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 what is this? These clones now, this is exactly what we were worried about because they were so militant. This is imperialism. This is an empire now. So they're not in favor of this. So you see that before the Empire takes over, we already had these little groups out there. And what they do is they need a way to come together. And that's really where your Bail Organas and your Mon Mothmas come in. They're the way that you can galvanize these rebels and you get a rebel alliance. If you look at the symbol of the Onderonian rebels, they have like a piece of the Rebel Alliance logo as part of their logo. Their outfits are very inspired by early Ralph McQuarrie drawings. I think some of the Endor troopers that we saw in Return of the Jedi we used. So they're just little ways that we start to say, not only is this getting closer to Revenge of the Sith, it's actually getting closer to the Star Wars from the 70s and the 80s, the Civil War that's going to come, and we are setting all these things up. We're doing it politically, we're doing it strategically through the military, we're doing it through the emotions of the characters, and Season 5 really catapults us, pretty far in that direction.
Where are the Jedi at in terms of the ideal of the Jedi Order versus being put in the role of generals, which is, of course, an unnatural role for the Jedi to be in? How much of that has really corrupted the Order, or is that just sort of a natural byproduct of having to lead this massive army?
It's both. It's both. It's a natural byproduct, which is exactly what Sidious wants. It's,
Splits their focus.
It splits their focus. It compromises their morals. They should not be fighting this war because it makes them not peacekeepers. It makes them soldiers. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, and we make that clear in the episode. I mean, we've shown with the clones that they are truly brave soldiers doing great deeds and heroic deeds. But that doesn't mean that that's the role for everyone. And that's not the role for the Jedi. The Jedi were supposed to be the negotiators, the peacekeepers, the ones that bring balance to arguments, that make you put your weapons down, not ignite your weapons and rise up and fight.
Right.
So, they've compromised themselves. That was going to be a job for the clones. But once you understand that, you see how easy it was for them to let go of control of that military establishment for guys like Tarkin, guys like Yularen, who came in at the front of it and said, okay, so you don't want to be the generals. We'll be the generals. We'll establish a hierarchy for the clones. We'll establish a military, a grand army of the Republic. You can lead them, and we'll follow your strategies for now. But since you are peacekeepers, ultimately, we'll take this over. So Tarkin, we brought him into the series to know that ultimately this is his big move to really gain control for what he hopes is the coming empire.
Well, it's fascinating. It's really interesting to watch, and certainly it's been a great ride so far. We can't wait to see more out of Season 5 of The Clone Wars and see where this goes.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, thanks so much, Dave. We've been with Dave Filoni, the Supervising Director of Star Wars The Clone Wars. Stay tuned here to StarWars.com for more episodes and more behind the scenes. We'll see you next time.